Bois Inc. episode 60, the big 60.
Made it.
Got Nate with me again.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and on last week's episode, or whatever, I don't remember what happened. It's been way too long. It's way too long. Too many things have happened since.
What did we talk about last time?
It was something John Fry related. Oh, it was the remember those the campus strikes justice for Drexel?
Yeah.
It was that. Yeah, because it went
up.
The
last time we did this.
Yeah, it was early June. That episode went up June 3rd.
Okay.
It's been 97 days since I uploaded it.
Really?
Yeah, so I've been grinding though. Okay, I've been grinding that day job a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's kind of paid off. It's paid off a little bit. I want everyone to know that today, the day we're recording this, being the evening of September 8th, 2024, is the day that I would I came up with this caption, right, for a shitty Instagram post that I decided not to do.
Right.
And the way I would caption it is started from the bottom. Now we're at where I previously thought the bottom was.
Nice.
Because I'm making my way up in the world, and the place that I just made it to is where I thought I would be my bottom already. So that's good.
That's good.
So fucking amen to that, bro. Hell yeah.
Right.
Because today was my first server shift at work. They finally let me start serving tables.
Oh shit!
And they let me start doing that. It was just a little quick 5-hour noon to 5, but it was fun. It was fun. I had way more fun doing it than I thought I would. I thought I'd hate it. I was initially
you got to talk to people a lot more, right?
Yeah, I'm actually fine with talking to people. Talking to people's fun, even when they're combative. I did have one.
I'm good with talking to people, not with customers.
Yeah, well, I had one customer table thing. I don't know. They were arguing with me about something, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna just go get my manager about it. And then they tried to haggle with me, and they're like, no, you don't have to go get your manager. I'm like, okay, all right, no, that's cool. All right, so they're like, okay, so take this off our bill. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go ask my manager what's up though, because I'm not taking things off your bill without asking first. That's crazy. Because it was some shit they definitely should have paid for. But then it was funny because they're like, well, wait, right. How does this all work? Why is it charging me for this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm all these questions. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to just go talk to him. So I just went to my manager real quick. I was like, all right, so here's the situation. And she's like, yeah, okay, so you did it perfect and you're saving them money, but they don't realize that. It's like, yeah, I could have charged them way more for what I gave them, but I didn't. Because I was being nice.
Right.
But it was not a big deal. But even that, I don't really mind. I wasn't mad about it. I was like, hey, shit, that's going to happen sometimes. Whatever, bro.
Yeah. Any job you get that shit.
Yeah. No, but I do like talking to people, though. The talking to people is fun. A couple nights ago, this is maybe last week this happened. Dude, it was so funny. So previously I was working to go. And I'm still mostly on that just because I'm kind of the main to-go person right now. So I'm trying to not be, but they need to hire more people and train other people up to do it before I can fully switch off of it. But the nice part about to-go is it's a lot of standing around and doing nothing and collecting hourly. And the hourly is nice. The hourly is $15 an hour. So I'm getting that $15 an hour to mostly just stand around late into the night, basically. But I think it was last Saturday, maybe. There's it was really busy in the early part of the night, and then servers got busy, and then the bar got really busy, but no one was really busy all at the same time. And this bridal party comes in, or not a bridal party, but it was a wedding after party comes in, and they just fill up the whole bar. The whole bar is just smashed now. It's several layers of people deep, and I'm kind of just standing around okay, well, the bartenders have it handled. They're loving it right now because they're making money because there's so much business. So they're cool. They don't really need help. As if I could even help them. The servers don't have shit going on. I don't have shit going on. So I guess I'm just chilling. I guess I'm just watching whatever's on the TVs. I think it was like a UFC fight or something. I don't know. But some guy keeps like walking in and out over and over, and I keep like looking at the door because I'm supposed to be watching the door for people coming in and like greeting them and all this. But I keep like seeing the same guy come in and out, and then eventually homie walks up to me and just starts talking to me. And he is way too drunk. Like he just walks up to me and starts talking to me. He's like, "Hey man, you're like really chill." I'm like, "Oh really? Oh thanks." And he's like, "Yeah man, you just like you make me feel like really calm." I'm like, "Oh that's cool. Thanks bro, I appreciate it." He's like, "Yeah, how's your night going?" I'm like, "Oh it's going all right. It's going all right." Not a lot going on, as you can clearly tell. I'm just standing here talking to you, so we're just not a lot going on. So then he keeps asking me like over and over how my night is going. And I keep telling him like, "Hey man, it's good. I'm just standing here, but it's whatever." And then he starts leaning on the counter next to me. Like I'm leaning against the counter and then he leans on it with me. Like clearly because he can't hold his balance. Like he's leaning on it for support. Because otherwise like he'd have a hard time telling what direction is up. So then he's like, he's leaning with me on this counter and then he's looking out over the rest of the restaurant. And then he sees one of my managers and one of the waitresses are talking and he just looks at both of them. And then he's like, "Damn, they're pretty hot, right?" I'm like, I mean, I get it's kind of weird because like, they're my coworkers. And also I think they both have kids and one of them has a boyfriend also. And she's also like 7 years older than me. So it's not really like that, but I mean, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Yeah, she's got a great like, all right, bro, cool. Like, thanks. I don't know what you want me to say about that. I'm trying to just be like, no comment, but like, dude, I don't know." So then the waitress like goes to walk past him and he's trying to like strike up a conversation with her, but like she's kind of busy. So like, she's like, "Oh yeah, cool, whatever." And then she like walks away. So then the manager's walking up and she's like, "Oh, how's it going?" Because she sees like I'm still talking to this guy and she's like trying to make sure everything's cool. And I'm giving like everything's cool, but I'm talking to this guy just so he's not getting into trouble elsewhere type shit.
Mm-hmm. Babysitting.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that was where my head was at. I was like, okay, well, if I'm talking to this guy and he's just leaning against this thing with me, then he's not causing any problems and I have nothing else to be doing. So this is probably the best use of my time, honestly, is just wrangling this guy. So the manager walks up and she kind of joins in on this conversation and is like realizing like how fucked up this guy is. And they get to talking. One of the bartenders walks past and then she kind of like corrals him into like, "Hey man, you probably need to like call this guy a fucking cab because he's like fucked up." So then he's like, then they get to talking and then he's trying to hit on the manager. The drunk guy is. He's trying to hit on the manager and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, you're actually very beautiful." And she's like, "Oh, okay, thanks." And then he goes to like touch her arm and she's like, "We're not gonna do that." Yeah. She's like, "Yeah, you can back up a little bit." And he's like, I think she's mad." I was like, "I think she is too, bro." It's like, he thinks like I'm like taking his side and I'm trying to like not get him like mad. So I'm trying to like keep him cool, but I'm also not like, "Yeah, hell yeah, brother."
Yeah.
So the bartender's like, "All right, man, well, hey, let's just get you a water right now, all right?" He's like, "Yeah, that sounds good." So the bartender leaves to go get him a glass of water. And he's like, the guy like then looks at me and he like whispers, he's like, "They're all judging me for drinking water." And I was like, "No, I don't think they are. I don't think they're like judging you. I don't think they care, to be honest. Like it's not that big a deal, man." And he's like, "Nah, I think they are." I'm like, "No, No, I mean, well, who cares? Like, I don't care if you're drinking water. And he's like, yeah, I mean, you're cool. You're just really calm. How's your night going? And then we get into this like loop again. Like, okay, so this guy might be blackout drunk. So then bartender comes back over, gives him the water. He's drinking it, and he's like, all right, man, well, how are you getting home tonight? I don't want you going home and driving home. And he's like, oh no, man, don't worry, it's good. I didn't drive here. I'm gonna Uber home. And he's like, all right, yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, why don't you order that Uber now, actually? And he's like, okay. So he takes out his phone and then he hands it to the bartender. Bartender like starts fucking with it to get an Uber on the way. Puts it back in his pocket, walks away. And then we talk for a few more minutes. Bartender comes back up. He's like, hey man, is that Uber almost here? Like, what's the deal with that? And and he's like, he's doing the same thing where he's like, man, they're judging me for getting an Uber. I'm like, no, I think they just don't want you drunk driving. Yeah. So, if they're just getting you an Uber so you're safe, bro, like they don't, they're not judging you for it. Plenty of people get too fucked up. Like, I'm trying to like be his friend type shit. Mm-hmm. So bartender walks back up. He goes, hey man, where's that Uber at? And he's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, the Uber that we called, like, here, take out your phone. So the guy reaches into his pocket, pulls out his wallet, opens his wallet and starts rifling through like cards, drops it on the floor. And the bartender's like, no man, your phone. And he's like, oh, hold on. So he bends down to pick up his wallet and just falls face forward and just hits his fucking head directly on the tile floor.
Jesus Christ.
So then me and the bartender pick him up and like carry him over to a booth and like sit him down. And there's a welt, like a bump, like a cartoonish bump forming on his forehead in front of me in real time. But he ended up being all right. He was fine. It was just a cosmetic injury, I guess. It wasn't like he wasn't like seriously hurt or anything. So then the Uber came and then we fucking got him out of there and it was not a big deal. But no, that's the part that I like. See, that's fun. I have no problem with that.
Dealing with drunk people? Yeah,
dealing with drunk people's fine. Like, especially if they're not being belligerent with me, right? He was just being overly friendly. Like, he was a very friendly drunk. It's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like if a golden retriever was like a person, you know what I mean? It's just like super overly friendly, like not incredibly smart because he's drunk. But dude, that person, I have no problem. I could have talked to that guy for 3 hours just going in the same loop over and over because I was standing around doing nothing before. Like, hey, fuck it, man. I might get some funny tidbits or something. I don't know. Who knows? I think he was like a scientist or something. I think I got that from the conversation. He was talking about his work. I was like, where do you work? He's like, at a lab. I'm like, oh, what lab? And I don't remember what he said, but he was like, yeah, I'm like a lab person. I was like, oh, so you're like a scientist then? He's like, no, I just work in a lab. I'm like, okay.
Your lab thing?
Something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. He wasn't making a whole lot of sense, but it's whatever. But yeah, so no, yeah, today was like the day that I hit my previous rock bottom. Because I used to like, before I got into working at a restaurant, I wanted to be like, okay, listen, I just want to bartend. I do not want to serve. Like, I really felt like very strongly, like, I don't want to serve tables. I don't want to be doing it. Like, it's just not for me. And then trying to get into bartending, I couldn't find anywhere that was like, yeah, we'll just fucking hire you, bro. Like, we got you. I couldn't find a single place that was like that. Other than maybe like a catering company, but I didn't want to work for a catering company. So I had to kind of lower my standards and either work for a catering company or start serving tables. So serving tables now. And it's not as bad as I thought. Like, not nearly as bad as I thought, because I thought it would suck, but I'm having fun doing it. So yeah, that's why I'm at the previous rock bottom. So we're on the come up now, dude. September is the month of the boys.
The month of the boys.
Yeah, I'm declaring it now. We're only 8 days in. We're only a week in. It's the month of the boys, though. Okay, like this the time. Because that's how you segue to your next topic. You know who? Right. There's a guy right now that has been on he self-proclaimed villain arc, but I don't really know if it's the villain arc necessarily, but it is like just the most for the boys comeback maneuver of all time. I think this is like a legendary comeback maneuver right here. The greatest plot twist in history. Do you remember that one guy? He's like internet famous for being like a really fat dude that's always crying, and he makes the mukbang videos.
No.
Okay, I'm sure you've seen memes of him. He's a white dude that was really fucking fat, and he had this like faux hawk thing. His name was Nikocado Avocado.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Okay. Have you seen the recent developments with him?
No.
All right, the craziest plot twist of all time just occurred. I want you to like really guess, like, what. Imagine the craziest possible thing that could happen in regards to his story. What do you think it would be?
That guy?
Yeah, that guy. Like, if that guy were to put a video on his YouTube channel, what would be the craziest thing that video could even be?
I mean, with YouTube people, it's always something with pedophilia. Yeah,
so no, it was not. See, the problem is with that, like, I would expect it at this point, like, anyone on YouTube to just be a random, like, kid diddler. I think we've had, like, I think there's been a solid 1 or 2 a month this year. Like, I think every month there's been another big, like, internet personality that got outed as being a fucking pedophile.
I think he has never paid his taxes.
No.
Okay.
No. So the plot twist is this is actually some like comic book villain shit, I guess. The plot twist is he uploaded a video like, I don't know, like 2 days ago. And he's skinny.
What?
He's actually in excellent shape.
Like he lost a lot of weight, or he always has been?
So what everyone found out from this video is he actually is in great shape right now. And all of the videos that they've seen over the past 2 years have been drip fed. So he recorded like 100 videos when he was that fat. And then quietly, without saying anything, over the past 2 years, he lost 250 pounds.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So he just posted that like, hey guys, fucking guess what? I'm skinny now. But that was not the tone of the video. The tone of the video was this is some crazy social experiment that I just played on everyone. Everyone fell for it.
What the fuck?
But yeah, it turns out he has his life perfectly together. He looks totally normal. He's a totally normal looking dude of like seemingly healthy weight. He made a bunch of money off those videos. So it seems like it just got his bag up, to be honest. Like, it seems like he just lost all the weight. Like, I'm sure if you Google search him right now, like you'll see that recent picture of him. It's like him in a red t-shirt.
Yeah, like I got the picture. Right
with like the shaved head. Bald. That's him like yesterday.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So he looks like that. And he's just said, like, over the past couple of years, he just lost all the weight and was just slowly releasing the videos he made when he was fat.
Crazy.
Yeah, right? Like, that's the craziest comeback of all time. Everyone thought he was, like, dying. And it turns out he's actually healthier than a lot of people watching the YouTube video. I was scrolling through the comments of his video, which also popped the fuck off, by the way. I saw... just when I went to check it like maybe 2 hours ago, it was at number 2 on the YouTube trending page with like 28 million views. So like everyone knows about it now too. Like this has hit like everyone. Everyone that probably knew who he was before probably knows about this now. Yeah, I mean, dude, like what a king move, right? Like that's actually the method. But
crazy.
Yeah, so I looked at the video, right? And like a bunch of the comments were people being like, dude, this was the guy that I compared myself to not feel bad. What do I do now?
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, "Oh shit." I was jokingly saying to myself, I'll lose all my weight. I'll lose all my weight when Nikocado loses his weight. Motherfucker, he already lost it. He's already done the weight loss. The weight loss has happened. It's past tense for him now.
I mean, he's the self-esteem guy.
Yeah, which
was the self-esteem guy.
Maybe this was all part of the plan as like an elaborate way to like prove the best weight loss program of all time is have the entire internet bully you about being fat. And then that way, like whenever he's like about to break his diet, he just checks his own YouTube comments and is like, nah, I can't do it.
Jesus, man.
Because like that's always the thing that people say when they're like trying to lose weight is it's like they can do a diet for like a couple weeks, but then like they'll fuck up once and then just fall off the wagon.
Right.
But like if you have this amazing system to motivate yourself where like actually real life millions of people will bully the shit out of you for being fat, like you'd be like, you'd look at some junk food and be like, bro, it's not worth that. Like, yo, this bag of chips is just simply not worth, 5 million people telling me to kill myself. Like, it's just not worth it. I think I'm going to eat an apple instead. I think I'm going to eat some celery. Like, that might be the method, Like, maybe that's actually how people should lose weight. That should be like a thing. I'm going to start that business, I think.
You could.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have the business model be like, find someone who's fat, make them really famous specifically for being fat until enough people bully them into being small again.
Yeah.
Because this stuff always goes like super viral too. Like it seems so easy. I keep seeing this one clip that's like hilarious. Did you ever watch or see like clips from that one TLC show about the two sisters that like are both like morbidly obese? Like I think if you add up both of their weights, it's at like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, 1,000-pound twins or whatever.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
It's a clip from that where they're both at the doctor, and the doctor asks one of the sisters, when was the last time you got your period? And she's like, I don't remember. And she's like, you don't remember? And she's like, no. She's like, oh, that's odd. And she's like writing it on her chart or whatever. And then she goes, there's actually a very real chance that I could be pregnant right now. And the doctor's like, really? Okay, well, what makes you say that? Which is kind of a head-ass question for a doctor to ask someone.
Right.
Like, if you go to I've never been a woman at the doctor's office, but I would assume if you say, hey, doctor, I haven't had my period in quite a while. I actually can't remember the last time I had it. And they ask you, what makes you think you're pregnant? And you like, what are you supposed to say other than like, well, I let a dude hit it raw.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of why, like, I think the doctor's kind of doubtful. Like, okay, well, what makes you say that? Is because it's her that they're talking about. They're like, bro, no, you have not been fucking anyone. Like, let's be real.
Right.
Be dead ass with me for a second. So she's like, oh, well, what makes you say that? What makes you think you're pregnant? And she's like, oh, well, I've been having these weird cravings recently. She's like, oh, the weird cravings? Like what? And she's like, water.
What?
She's like, I have a weird craving for water. And the doctor's like, oh. And then it cuts to the other sister. And she just goes, you're not pregnant. You're just thirsty, you bitch. Craving water. What are you, fucking stupid? Like, yeah. It's like that clip is going viral. She's like never craved water. She's never wanted to drink water before. It's always been like some shit that makes you fat. It's always like soda or something. It's like, oh, I need juice. But like, doctor, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'd be like wanting to drink water and shit. It's like, I mean, good for you. Probably go drink some. Doctor would be like, I'm gonna prescribe you some water to go drink. I'm thinking maybe 8 glasses a day for the rest of your life. That sound good? I'm thinking like if that TLC show had a comment section, they probably would have both been like bad as fuck by now. I think they both would be in incredible shape. They'd both be bangable.
It's pretty solid theory, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know how you could disprove it, so I think I'm cooking here. I don't think you can prove me wrong, so I might be onto something.
All right.
So that's what everyone's been talking about recently, is like how just a crazy turn of events that is, how like no one was expecting Nick to lose all that weight. Also in the news, we totally missed the Olympics as far as like this podcast goes. Like, didn't talk about it at all because the last episode was the beginning of June.
Yeah, it's true.
I didn't really have any good Olympics topics other than one that was like preemptive.
Which one?
Did you hear that a bunch of the river? Yeah, a bunch of French people were trying to protest the Olympics being there, so they decided to shit in the river that they would hold all of the games in.
Yeah.
And then
that's the French.
Yeah, and then I think the president of France and the mayor of Paris, I think, were both like, "No, guys, look, the river's clean. We're gonna go swim in it." And then a day before they went to go swim in it, they tested it, and they're like, "I'm not swimming in that shit. Are you fucking crazy?" Yeah, so I think then the Olympics ended up not doing any of like the water-based sports in the Seine River. And I actually saw there was one thing that this is crazy that technology has gotten us this far. Like 2024, they said we'd have flying cars. What we actually have instead is a map that you can enter your like where you live and what time the Olympics are, and it will tell you exactly when to shit in the river, so it will drift down into Paris just in time for the Olympics. Someone made some sort of like website to calculate when and where you should shit in the river in order to maximally fuck the Olympics over.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like, I don't even want a flying car. I just want that. I just want a website to tell me like where and when I can shit in order to maximally ruin other people's lives.
That sounds great.
Like, imagine you do like years of training. You dedicate your life to a sport like rowing or something, right? And then you manage to make your country's Olympic rowing team, and then you're about to go and perform for the whole world in hopes of winning the gold medal that you spent years grinding and fucking really just working your ass off to try and get. And then you find out French people are mad about something, and then you're now going to have to row in shit water. And because of that, they just cancel it. They're like, no, we're not going to do it. Like, how pissed would you be? Like, what do you even do? Realistically, what do you even do in this scenario?
I don't know. I mean, I would swim in shit water just because, like, I'm not a pussy.
Yeah, you're a cholera enjoyer based in cholera pilled. I love E. coli.
I just take like a Flintstones gummy vitamin and be fine.
Oh yeah, bro, get one of those magic potions. Get a. You need to go and find a vitamin C drink from Korea of dubious origin and drink it, and your health will be better than ever. I swear. That shit is crazy, dude. One South Korean vitamin C potion, and it will fix you right up. Like just anything. I feel like if your like arm falls off, you could probably just drink one and it would grow back.
If I drink one now, can I get more arms than I already have?
I don't know if it would have you grow a third arm. It might add 6 inches to your dick though, so it might still be worth considering.
If I added 6 inches to my dick, the world would be in trouble.
Yeah, it would be over. It'd be over for everyone. Dude, okay, that reminded me. There's a guy at my work. It's a guy at my work that I'm kind of like friends with, who's so funny, but he like, I don't know why he jokes so much about having a small dick. Like he, like, oh my God, bro. Like holy shit, stop telling me how small it is. Like, holy shit. It's like, it's funny, but like, bro, you're scaring the hoes, like, respectfully. Just like a couple days ago, we're all chilling. I'm standing, I'm posted up with my boy, we're talking, and one of the bartenders walks past, and you know, then they get to talking. One of the managers, it's just kind of this group conversation, and I walk away for a second. I come back, and suddenly they're on the subject of the guy that I'm like cool with is saying that the bartender is just like so much cooler than he is, like just way better off. He's like basically like gassing this dude up, calling him majestic and shit, right? He's like, man, you're better looking than me. You're taller than me. You rock the earrings better than I do. Like, bro, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, I'm so jealous, bro. Like, what do I do? And he's like, kind of like, you can tell he's a little bit salty about it, actually.
Yeah.
And then
the fact that he's not good.
And then the bartender's like, hey man, stop. You gotta chill, bro. And I was like, that's a crazy response. If someone came up to me and was like, bro, here's all the ways that I'm jealous of you because of how just sick and epic you are, I would not stop them talking ever.
Yeah.
I would never be like, okay, I've heard enough. I'd be like, no, keep gassing me up. Keep saying it.
All right.
So then like they start like walking away from each other because they both got shit to do. But then he says like, he's like, yeah, man, he's like going down the list. He's like, yeah, you're, you got whatever. You look better than me. And then he's like, and then there's like a third thing that I shouldn't even mention. I'm like, what the fuck? Hey, like, hey, yo, like with the heavy implication that he's saying your dick is bigger than mine.
He's got a nicer curve.
Yeah. Well, not just a nicer curve, but like more girth, more length. It's probably more picturesque. Probably a shower, not a grower. But yeah, I was like, damn, man, he's got to lay off. Like, you can like, I feel like you can joke about it, but I feel like if you joke about it too much, it seems like you have a complex about it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you joke about it too much and you seem salty about it, then people will be like, damn, that actually really bothers him. Like, you know, when people make self-deprecating jokes as like a way to pretend like they're not insecure about something, but then sometimes people will go way too far and like prove that they're really insecure about something.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's that. Although it's kind of reverse like reasoning, because I feel like I already kind of know that he's insecure about it. And then also he just says stuff like that. So then I'm like, oh, okay. The line is there. Like, it's easy to draw the line. There's no like math that needs to be done here. So, I mean, that's about all I have to say about the Olympics. I really didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it except for that night we were in the bar together.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Doing like the cycling or whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah, there was cycling. There was the shooting. The guy that just
fucking sucked.
Yeah, guy just like, I think they probably executed him after for how badly he did.
Oh yeah.
They probably should have taken that little shitty Olympic like pistol thing and just blew his brains out with it on TV. Yeah, so the Olympics was, whatever. I think the only thing that I kind of cared about that I ended up never really following up on was I think one of the athletes there was Randall Cunningham's daughter, which I wanted to see her do well just because I like Randall Cunningham, but he used to play for the Eagles. He used to be a quarterback. Okay. But he was he was super cool. I like him. He retired a while ago. But I think his daughter is like an Olympic athlete. So I was like, oh, rooting for her. I hope she wins. I never found out if she did because I just don't care about the Olympics. So uneventful summer on that front. The summer games came and went and no one cares.
Yeah.
The really more eventful thing this summer is there. Did you know there was a real life money glitch that people found, like infinite money glitch?
No.
All right, so there's basically this method that you can use. Now, I feel like I got to preface this again with like, this is not financial advice.
Okay.
There's a method you can use that makes you infinite money, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. You want to know what it is?
Yes.
Check fraud. You just defraud your bank by writing bad checks, and you get infinite money.
How does that work?
So basically, you just commit a felony and you get infinite money. So basically, people. So all right, here's the context. So sometimes you'll notice if you're depositing money into your bank, and you deposit a check, sometimes it takes a while for that check to clear, and that money doesn't become available to you yet until the check clears. Well, some banks will do a thing where if you deposit a check and it's still like pending, but your account is like trustworthy and in good standing and whatever, like has all these bells and whistles on it or whatever, they can credit your account with the amount on the check, just assuming that it'll go through, because why wouldn't it? You're a trustworthy account.
Of course I am.
So they credit it, and then just the check clears, and then you just get the money, and it's fine. But at Chase Bank, there was some sort of glitch with their software, so every single account was tagged as trustworthy.
Okay.
So people realized this and went, hey guys, wait a minute. If you cash a check, while it's waiting to clear, you can just use the money. So just write like, I don't know, say a fake check, like a check that will never clear, for like $50,000, deposit it, spend the $50,000 that just got credited to your account, and then the check bounces.
Okay.
So that was the infinite money glitch that people found out, is you can just do that. So there were a bunch of pictures and videos going around of like people lined up around the block to go to Chase Bank. Like it was like some Chase Bank somewhere with like people down the fucking block. It looked like when the new iPhone comes out and all the people line up outside the Apple store. It looked like some Black Friday shit, like the people camping out.
Mm.
Now it's funny because that doesn't work at all. Like the check fraud thing, like there's 0% chance that actually works because they credit your account. So when the check bounces, they just go, oh, okay, well, let's just get that money back then. And now your account is hugely in the negative.
Right.
So then like a week or two later, everyone starts posting. They're like, guys, don't do the infinite money glitch. I'm $30,000 in debt now.
Fucking hell.
So a bunch of people are getting burned by that. And it feels like every couple months, this same kind of thing happens where like, it's really, I think TikTok is like a beautiful thing for spreading this kind of like just chaos.
Bullshit.
It's just great.
Okay.
Like it's such a wonderful tool that you can use to just like make shit up and have people just absolutely ruin their entire lives over like a thing they saw on TikTok once. Like we really got to study like why is it that people think like I saw one TikTok about this thing, so you know obviously it's not a scam. Because every like couple months there's another thing where people are like, guys, infinite money glitch, and then they all end up like destitute. Like I don't get who is the person that is falling for this? And like, it's not just one person. It's like so many people falling for it. How have these people not been scammed earlier is kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I mean, most of it's luck, right?
It's got to be. They were
not even luck, just like
they were just lucky enough to not get scammed yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of tough. Like, Yeah, I don't know, but there was a thing I saw on TikTok a while ago. It was some lady. It's the funniest thing ever. Like, if you ever want to just like really have some fun, just go look at like what finance people are saying on TikTok and just see how many videos down you have to go before they're just telling you to commit crimes. It's surprisingly easy to find people just straight up admitting to committing like bank fraud, like a lot. There was one where it was like some lady being like, "Oh yeah, so basically, this is a way to just get your credit score up really easily or whatever." She's like, "So basically, just create 2 LLCs and then just take out a loan under one, and then just keep paying it back and forth between both of them using your credit score." Like just using like fake transactions. Like, oh, okay, I'm sure that's not illegal. It's like, oh no, it turned out it was highly illegal. What the fuck? Like, it's not hard to find people on TikTok just straight up scamming.
I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, it is so much fun. I don't know how you do it where you're like, oh yeah, I don't really use it. I can't stop using it, dude. It's so good.
What, TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just never got into it, I guess.
It's so good. It's so fucking fun. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't like. It's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like walking through a zoo of people.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're just scrolling and you're like, oh wow, there's some wacky shit happening over in this corner. That's super weird. And then you just scroll some more and you're like, oh wait, now we got some like insane, other shit that's going down. Like, it's too much. That's probably my biggest addiction is like TikTok. To be honest, like I don't really fuck with like drugs like that.
It's just TikTok.
Yeah, like I don't really fuck with drugs like that. Like I'll occasionally like maybe smoke weed or do an edible or something. And like I'll drink every now and then. But like I have a very healthy relationship with drugs and alcohol. TikTok, I don't. TikTok is a problem. I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing ever because it's not, it's not physically harming me. And also I can still like, it's not like ruining my life or anything where I'm like, I gotta keep scrolling. Like if it's too late at night, I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to go to sleep now. Like I don't have it that bad, but I'm not like, I just gotta keep scrolling. I'll get some dopamine eventually. Like I don't have it that bad, but maybe if I keep grinding hard and, really dedicate myself to the craft, maybe I can. Maybe I can one day aspire to be that cool. All right, so I got like 2 or 3 more topics that I want to go over, and I'll let you pick the next one.
Okay.
Do we want another weird kind of interaction I had with people at work that I think I might have told you about already off record? Or do you want a crazy news story that happened recently?
With crazy new one.
All right, so the crazy news story. So this is what I was talking to you about before, where we were talking about like that neighborhood that you were in, like used to be previously. So about, I don't know, like a week, 2 weeks ago, I think, there's a YouTube channel run by a guy called Brandon Buckingham. And he does all kinds of stuff. One of them is he will sometimes go to some like random hood in America and like just have the local rappers kind of just give him the tour and like tell him what's up. And he just kind of documents it. It's kind of like a documentary thing. And recently he did one in Philadelphia. Let me see what it was called. I had it pulled up. I think I might have closed it now. Oh, there you go. It was uploaded August 22nd, and it was called The Most Hated Rapper in Philadelphia, Life as Mr. Disrespectful, YBC Duel, which is what the guy calls himself, is YBC Duel. So it's exactly what it sounds like. This rapper, YBC Duel, has been getting headlines recently, and he goes and basically gives Brandon Buckingham the tour of Philadelphia, like his hood specifically. And the reason he has all these headlines is because he's kind of a fiend, to be honest. He's kind of crazy. The thing that like got him on a bunch of people's radars is like there's been, I guess, like gang beefs and shit happening in Philly recently, like especially in that area, like in the Mantua area. And
yeah, that was fairly close.
Yeah, I mean that was like it's like a couple blocks from where you were. That's the funny part. In the video, he shows a map of like, okay, so this gang formed here and this gang formed here, here, and here, and he like draws these giant circles on the map. And I saw the map, I was like, oh shit, Nate used to live like right there. Like I could see your apartment building from the map. I was like, damn, okay, fuck.
Yeah.
So the in this like gang conflict, basically like they have just been taking turns just killing each other or getting locked up like for life, like getting life sentences out of this like gang war type shit.
Nice.
And YBC Duel apparently kills one of the guys in this rival gang, one of his ops, and then makes a music video going to the cemetery that the guy is buried at and digging up his grave.
Yo, what the fuck? How?
I don't know. It's just in this music video, there he is standing on the grave of this guy that he fucking killed, digging him up.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's crazy. So everyone like people start calling him Mr. Disrespectful, obviously, because like, I mean, desecrating someone's grave that you already killed is like pretty disrespectful, I'd say. Like probably a 7 out of 10 disrespect. Yeah, it's like, it's a little bit more than like
it's up there.
Yeah, it's above average disrespect, I would say. So the interesting thing is like that happens and that gets him a bunch of attention. So then Brandon Buckingham ends up interviewing him and doing this documentary with him. Basically, it goes up, and then I believe the next day or the day after he gets killed.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so like the next day or the day after he gets killed, and I think it was a 16-year-old that killed him.
16-year-old?
Yeah, apparently there was this 16-year-old in Philly that was just going around just fucking shit up, apparently. I heard from some people at work that they were talking about it, and they're like, yeah, man, apparently like that guy had a crazy amount of bodies already. Like that guy just went around and did like 4 or 5 killings like that day or something. Yeah, it's crazy.
Insane.
In fact, I think I just pulled up an article from phillyvoice.com. I believe this picture they have of the guy that died is from the Brandon Buckingham video.
Fuck, dude.
It is. They just credited him. Yeah, it is. It's from that interview. Like 2 days before he gets killed.
Insane.
All right, I just pulled up this article. Here we go. Okay, so it says 2 weeks after West Philly rapper and gang leader YBC Duel was killed in a drive-by shooting in Olney, a 16-year-old has been charged with homicide in his death and other shootings in the city last month, police say Friday. The Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, which held a news conference Friday afternoon to discuss the case, said it was charging Aiden Waters as an adult and that he faces charges in 2 other shootings that happened in August, including another homicide. Abdul Vix, the 25-year-old rapper who goes by YBC Duel, was killed August 23rd. So yeah, it was 1 day after the video went up. While in a car at the 5500 block of North Fairhill Street, police said, at a stoplight around 3:30 p.m., another car pulled up alongside the vehicle and multiple shots were fired into the driver's side. Vic was struck in the chest and hand. He died a short time later at Einstein Medical Center. Oh, okay. Jesus. After the shooting, the police found the getaway car burning in a lot on the 6900 block of North 15th Street. So they pulled up on this guy in traffic, just drop the whole fucking clip on him, just drive by, get away, and then burn the car. Like they torched the car so that there'd be no evidence.
I mean, smart move.
I mean, yeah, I guess, except they still got caught, I guess.
Semi-smart.
Yeah. Police said Waters also fatally shot another 16-year-old on August 18th when he fired into a vehicle in Olney with 4 other teens inside. God damn.
16-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's 16-year-old on 16-year-old violence. So I mean, I say let him just go at it. Just let him fight. Let him play, ref. What are you doing? God damn, the loudest car in existence just drove by my house. Oh my god.
Heard it a little bit, yeah.
That's crazy. It's finally not too hot for me to just turn off my air conditioner and lower my windows, like just open the windows up. And then I got to deal with this shit.
Micro penis convention.
Yeah, damn it. Oh, it's that guy from work. Fuck. He's here to pick me up. Damn it.
Shit. Tiny dick.
He said we'd carpool.
Fuck.
Yeah, fuck. Damn it. Oh, okay. And then here's the evidence against the 16-year-old. In the days after Vix was killed, the district attorney's office said it was able to confirm the location of the shooting from a video shared widely on social media. Oh, Jesus, it was on social media. In the video, a white SUV is seen pulling up to a traffic light behind a SEPTA bus on North Fair. It was right behind a bus? That's crazy. Another white SUV then pulls up next to the car in the opposing lane, and shots are fired into the first car before the gunman leaves the scene. The SUV that Vix was seen in is speeding off moments later. Authorities said they followed the vehicle back to Waters' house, where they issued a search warrant and recovered the firearm that matches all 3 shootings in his basement. Okay, so he was smart enough to burn the car, but not smart enough to realize that there was CCTV footage of this random street that caught the drive-by shooting and then caught you driving back to your house before you went and burned the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then he still had the gun that he did all the killings with. So maybe like burning the car was a brief stroke of genius, but like otherwise the guy's like 60 IQ or something. He's just like actually retarded, but then like just this one thing, he was like, I saw this in a movie once. We got to do this. Do you think it was his own car? Do you think he was that dumb?
I mean, he's 16.
Yeah. You probably don't have a car at 16, but I mean, I guess he rightfully stole it probably.
Yeah.
So it's basically his. Yeah, he has it in his name after he stole it. Shit, but yeah, that's what I've been following there as far as like recent event news goes. Oh, is there a follow-up video? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, okay. All right, I gotta watch that later. Okay, so Brandon Buckingham put up a video about it since then, but I haven't seen it, so I don't really have anything to say about it other than like I should probably watch that. That seems like a good watch. Okay. All right, so then we got this just wild interaction that happened at work one time. So this one was so weird. I think I told you about it, but basically I'm at work and this like it's getting kind of like evening a little bit. The moon's starting to come out, the sun's going down. It's kind of that weird like twilight time. And one of the girls that's working to go walks outside to deliver someone's curbside order, and then she walks back in and she walks up to me and she's like, "Hey man, you got to go outside and look at the moon real quick. It looks actually crazy right now. Like I think it's like a full moon or something. And like the way the light's in, it's just like come check it out."
Oh, is it the blue moon?
The what?
There's a blue moon, a super blue moon.
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that.
Last month.
So I walk outside. I'm looking at the moon. We're both standing there, just like looking up at the moon. I'm like, "Oh, dude, that's crazy. That looks sick." Like, whatever. And then one of the guys from inside that's a customer walks out, and he starts to light a cigarette, and he came out to smoke for a second, and he starts talking to us by going, I said like, "Oh, dude, that looks crazy," and he goes, "Yeah, I wish I was on mushrooms looking at it." I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, yeah, you know, I bet it would go hard if I was on mushrooms right now. Kind of sucks I can't do mushrooms right now, but I'm at work, buddy. Like, I don't know if you're trying to offer me some or like, it's good, but. So he's like, yeah, nah, I'm not trying to be on mushrooms right now. I was like, yeah, no, that's probably a good call just for like, life and awareness and whatnot. Probably shouldn't just be going around like just being on mushrooms. Like maybe like take some every now and then, but not like a daily thing. But so then he says something, blah blah blah, and then he says something about like, oh, in at my work, and then we're like, oh, where do you work? And he's like, oh, I work as a prison guard. We're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then he just goes, you would not believe how far people could shove shit up their ass. And I was like, that's a crazy thing to just say to a random person, bro. That's wild to just like, man, you trust me. Imagine how far something can go up someone's ass. Now, like double that. And he's like, yeah, and like weird objects too. I was like, what do you mean weird objects? He's like, just whatever they can get. I was like, why? I was like, why? Like, you're not talking like they're smuggling stuff in. He's like, no. I was like, oh, why are they just jamming shit up their ass then? Why are they doing that? And he's like, well, because if they have something in their ass, then we have to remove them from the jail so they can get medical treatment. So we got to bring them to the hospital. And they just want to get out of the jail so bad that they'll just jam shit up their ass. And I was like, that's crazy. They're in the prison and they're like, I got to get out of here so bad. I would rather just shove a toothbrush up my ass and have them retrieve it at the hospital just so I can go on the fucking field trip of being in the hospital with a toothbrush in my ass. And he goes, nah, bro, not a toothbrush. I've seen crazier things. And I was like, oh, like what? And he's like, a pair of handcuffs.
Where'd they get the handcuffs?
I don't know. But why though? But why? Because if you're just trying to go to the hospital, wouldn't you at least do something that doesn't like tear your shit up? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Wouldn't
you find something that at least like is kind of the right shape? Just find something that isn't too mean looking. You know what I mean? Like, no, he's talking about they have all kinds of shit up there, bro. I'm like, what? Yeah, like a toothbrush seems like almost reasonable. If you okay, like just think about like in your daily life, the amount of things you interact with. If you had to shove something up your ass, like isn't toothbrush not bad?
It's not that bad.
Yeah, like I feel like I could do it if you put like a gun to my head and we're like, yeah, exactly. It's like if someone put a gun to your head and was like, put something up your ass, like I feel like toothbrush isn't the end of the world. Like you could do far worse.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought I was kind of on base. Turns out I was totally off base. He's like, nah, bro, they're doing handcuffs. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, how even? Like the shape doesn't make sense.
Wouldn't warrant a hospital visit.
Yeah, maybe, but I feel like it should if it just gets stuck.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess it's the getting stuck part that's difficult. I don't know. So then we end up talking to him about that for a couple minutes, but it's kind of weird. Like it wasn't that like friendly conversation. It was a little more like that guy was kind of just being weird. So then he walks back inside, and then I just kind of like look over at the girl that told me to come out, and we're kind of both just standing there. I was like, so that was a little weird, but like, yeah, the moon though, right? Like, cool. Anyway. So that's fun. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
And then I got that one that you wanted to do as like a last topic.
What did I already forget what it was. If I'm being totally honest.
All right, so
I do remember texting you about something though.
So there's like basically this really famous movie trailer that came out.
Okay. I remember, yeah. No, it looks like shit, man. I don't know what else to say. It just fucking. I mean, I do know what else to say. I have a lot to say, but it fucking. For starters, it looks like shit.
Yeah,
just visually speaking.
Yeah, the Minecraft movie trailer just came out and it looks not good.
No, it does not. It is some of the most obvious green screen I've seen in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing they're going to touch it up before they release the movie.
Yeah, but you would expect like the things that they put in the trailer to be the good looking things, not the bad looking things.
That's true.
Which is not a good sign.
Now, somebody did send me something today. Kind of a proposal of sorts for this movie. And I think that if they go ahead with it, I would forgive them completely.
Okay.
So if they put Hero Ryan in this movie, I think all sins would be forgiven.
I don't know. I think that's
where they stand right now. I mean,
I think that's too easy.
It's too easy.
Yeah, I feel like a movie like this kind of movie,
yeah,
where it's just kind of cashing in on some popular intellectual property, like cashing in on it, but spending way, way, way too much money to make it like look good.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to have like super fucking corny writing. I feel like all movies like this should have a golden snitch in there where like if they just do that one thing, it doesn't matter, the movie's goated. Right? I think that's a fair way to analyze movies like that. I think that's a fair way to review them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think mine's Herobrine though. I got to think like what would mine be? Huh. I don't know.
I mean, I have no like connection to that franchise. Like, I never played it as a kid. I never. So I have absolutely nothing drawing me to this movie right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think.
The other like big ones that people were excited for, right, were the Sonic movie in 2020, and the second one, I guess, and obviously the Mario movie. And both of those, like, yeah, I mean, I knew those games my childhood and whatever. But like this one, I mean, I never played Minecraft. I don't give a shit about Minecraft.
You got to play Minecraft. We gotta play Minecraft at some point. We gotta get everyone together and play Minecraft.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's like fun as fuck. But yeah, I'm trying to think like what.
Remember, I got it on my iPod Touch.
Oh hell
in,
yeah!
5th grade because everybody was talking about it.
Oh,
and I played it like once or twice.
That was the shit.
I played it like once or twice, and I was like, I don't get it. And then what I would do is sometimes I'd like go to it's like a friend's house or some shit, as a kid. And they'd be like, oh, let's play Minecraft on the Xbox. And I was like, oh god, okay. And what I would do is just make the biggest tower of explosives that I could and just wreck the shit and like the
nice. Yeah, it's I mean, there's no wrong way to play it, I guess, so that's fine. Yeah, no, so I watched that trailer after you sent it to me, and like, ooh, it looks rough. I really don't. I really hate, honestly, not saying that I dislike it isn't a strong enough word. I really hate that they went with live action people.
The live action and then like CG background and CG characters is bad.
Really bad considering like it would look bad. Like I've seen so many animations from like 2013 to like 2018 that look significantly better than this movie does. Like animations made by like just some guy because he likes the game.
Right.
Like, why does it look way worse than like 2013 Captain Sparkle's like song parody? Why does it look worse than the Revenge music video? Like, okay, after this episode, I'm going to show you the Revenge music video, and you're going to tell me which one you think looks better, and it's going to be over immediately because that one just looks way better because everything is like Minecraft-y. It all matches. Right. Nothing looks like horrendously out of place. I'm also 100 billion% convinced that music video, that song, is like the reason that Coldplay song is famous.
Song. Which Coldplay song is it based on?
I wasn't thinking Revenge. I was thinking Fallen Kingdom is what I was thinking of, but it's based on Viva La Vida. It's like a parody song.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure Revenge looks better too, though. But you know what? I'm confident in saying any Minecraft song parody from like that time that like was, you know, a big thing looks better than this actual movie with hundreds of millions of dollars of budget.
I have seen that video.
Yeah, it's right. Doesn't it look better?
Yeah. Like, if I'm thinking of the right one.
Yeah, why didn't they just do that?
The original video, the one with the king?
Yeah, he's just walking through the little Minecraft town. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, it's that one. It's like, well, why don't they just make it look like this? They would have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my thing that would make it good is like, I don't know, a lot of references to old like Minecraft YouTube. I don't know. I would get like super nostalgic for that. I feel like because that was like the shit growing up. Like I was all over that.
I only knew that stuff like secondhand.
Yeah.
Like whatever my friends showed me.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think they should go all in on that and just hope that has enough charisma to work, which is very strange that like a movie with hundreds of millions of dollars of budget is like, okay, if we just make it all referential to just random nobodies on YouTube, it'll be good. It's like really kind of an indictment of just movies generally recently. That like that's probably the best it could be.
And that's what did you see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie?
No, I didn't.
I thought it was fun enough.
Okay.
That's another one that like I have no nostalgic connection to.
Yeah, I didn't. I just missed the boat on Five Nights at Freddy's.
I wanted to see it because it was mostly practical effects done by the Jim Henson Company.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I was like, I respect that they're not just doing CG monsters; they're actually making the animatronics. You know, I think that's cool as hell. And the movie, it's about what you would expect, but there was just a lot of references to like game theory videos and fucking
Well, to be honest, I kind of want that out of that movie.
Yeah,
because it seems like so much of that franchise was like just adding in little crumbs of like what could potentially be storytelling and then just letting randos on YouTube put the pieces together and like that's how you get the story.
Exactly.
Like the way that almost everyone, like 99% of people that are like big Five Nights at Freddy's fans, like experience the story is a guy on YouTube telling them about it, which is fine.
Right.
But if you're going to adapt it into a movie, like it's at least cool that they're not pretending that that's not what was happening.
Right. Do you know the big thing from that movie that everybody was fucking excited about?
Was Matt Pat in it?
Matt Pat was in it.
Okay, good. I feel like he deserves it, to be honest. I feel like him and Markiplier both probably should have been in it.
Markiplier was supposed to be in it. And then from what I heard, so it opens up, right? The opening scene of the movie is a security guard running away from one of the fucking things. And he dies. It's like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh, okay.
And that was supposed to be Matt Pat. I mean, not Matt Pat. Markiplier. That's supposed to be Markiplier.
Oh, okay.
And they changed it like last minute before filming because they thought that nobody would take that scene seriously if it was Markiplier.
Oh, I mean, they definitely wouldn't, but I still think it's worth it to just put it in there anyway.
Yeah. I still think they should have kept it
Especially
that
if
way.
you already had them film it.
Mm.
Can you imagine the
No,
disrespect?
they didn't film it. They changed it before filming.
Okay.
I think. That's what I heard, at least.
Okay.
It was just like a last-minute script change before
Yeah, that makes sense.
heading into filming, I guess. But they kept the MatPat thing, and it's cool because before they show him, you hear his voice off screen, and then it cuts to his character.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
I didn't see it in theaters, but all of my friends who saw it in theaters tell the same exact story, that you hear his voice for like a millisecond, and everybody in the theater goes fucking nuts.
That is crazy. Yeah, like I like that. Like that's kind of it's corny, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit, man. Like, see, like things like that, I respect it at least because it's like it's not trying to be something that it isn't.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the Minecraft movie thing though.
I feel like it's just a stretch in the first place, you know.
Kinda. I mean, it's kind of playing off of like.
Because isn't the whole point of the game that it's kind of just an open world and there's no story to it?
Yeah, so that's kind of like the joke about it is like, oh well, there's no story. So then the bit for a while was like, oh, can't wait until they add story mode. But they already did this joke because there's already a Minecraft story mode game that exists.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, it was not super well received, I think. It was. Yeah. Have you ever seen a Telltale game before?
Telltale?
Yeah, it's the name of the developers. They call themselves Telltale.
No, I don't think so.
And all their games kind of look very similar. They're all like very cel shaded, and they're point and click adventure games that tell you like, oh, you know, the decisions that you make will affect the story, and that's like the thing.
Okay.
They made very, very popular adaptations of The Walking Dead. If you hear people talking about a Walking Dead video game that's good, they must be talking about this because it's the only Walking Dead games ever that were good, is the Telltale ones.
Yeah, I've heard about the Walking Dead games.
Yeah, and they've made a bunch of licensed things since. So I think they did a Guardians of the Galaxy one. They did a Wolf Among Us one. They did, I think, Batman. They did The Expanse. They've done Game of Thrones, I think.
Okay.
And then one of them was Minecraft, and they called it Minecraft Story Mode. And like that's kind of the bit, is that it's like not taking itself seriously, but the joke is like, oh, it's Minecraft's story. Like it has a story at all.
Okay.
So the joke's kind of already been made, so it's kind of weird to now make a movie about it.
I mean, is it going to be based on that story? Like,
I have no idea.
Okay.
I never played it, so I don't know. But I would assume not, because Jack Black is supposed to be Steve, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Still, I think the best thing to come out of this so far was I saw one post where it was like this is just what the Minecraft movie is going to be like, and it's a guy doing a really bad Jack Black impression, and he's like, "Whoa, we need to go get some really good crafters if we're going to beat the Ender Dragon." And then the guy pretending to be like the really bad like kid actors or whatever is like, "Oh, but you know, who can we get?" And then it was a bunch of like old Minecraft YouTube people that all ended up touching kids, like Avengers fucking Assemble. Yeah, they're like, yeah, they're like, oh my god, Dream, whoa, Lion Maker, Mini Lad, like, whoa, like, thank God you're here. And they're like, you know, he like, you know, they all like touch kids, right? Like, like that's the best thing to come out of it is Jack Black, a bad Jack Black impersonator being like, no, guys, we all have to gang up with Mini Lad in order to beat the Ender Dragon. Like, that's the best thing that I've seen come out of it so far. But I wonder if this is going to go down like Sonic, where people just bully them into changing it.
I was thinking that.
I'm thinking it's possible, but I think if they do, then it was definitely marketing, and I'm not going to go see it.
The other two trailers for like that, like nobody fucking really had a huge problem with. The trailer for fucking. I'm fucking short circuiting.
Mario.
That's it. I don't know. I blanked on that.
I don't, dude.
Yes.
I've been blanking on words recently too. I've just like been talking to someone. I'm like, you know, that like thing that
The incredibly famous thing that I've known my entire life. Yeah.
No, it was like a basic word. I was like, I had one of those recently where I was like, you know, when the, you know, this thing happens and they're like this, I was like, yeah, that.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like when that trailer came out, I felt like people were kind of excited for it, and there wasn't a huge backlash. People were like, Chris Pratt's voice is kind of dumb, but
well, yeah, that was what people were mad about, was like, Chris Pratt does not sound like he's doing a Mario voice even a little bit.
Right.
But I don't know. I never saw that one. But I wonder if like maybe I never saw Mario. I saw Sonic.
Did you see the second one?
No, I only saw the Sonic movie. The only time I went to like watch it ever was, I think I was with you and Joe when we went to go see it.
Yeah. It was the last movie I saw before COVID.
Oh, right. Well, way to go out on top.
Yeah.
Really? That was the last one? It wasn't like Joker?
Was Joker after that?
I don't know, because I think Joker was like October of like 2019.
Yeah, Joker was 2019.
Yeah.
Wasn't Sonic 2020?
It could have been, yeah. I just kind of group like from September of 2019 to like early March of like 2020 to be all like the same thing.
It's all pre-COVID.
Yeah, that's all like right before everything got crazy.
Yeah.
That's like, that in my head, like that period of time is like the last 3 episodes of the first season of Community, where it's like still kind of normal.
Yeah. Yeah, Joker was around the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that was like, I remember that one was pre-COVID. That was like my landmark. Like, okay, that was like one of the last things. Because I always think about that as, like, whenever I remember back to that period of time, I'm always like, dude, that's crazy. Like, to have just not known all that shit was about to happen.
Yeah, no, for real.
Like, dude,
I remember sitting in study hall that day in high school.
Oh yeah, when everything got canceled.
And it's like everybody was already kind of out of it because it was towards the end of our senior year, and there was rumors going around that local schools were closing for 2 weeks. You know,
yeah,
2 weeks to flatten the curve bullshit. And everybody, all of my teachers that day, every class I went to, were like, "No, we're not doing that. Everybody's going to stop talking about that. We're not doing that, right?" And then they announced it online before the announcement came over the PA system.
Yeah.
So I was in this huge study hall in the cafeteria.
Oh my God.
Like 3 teachers in it. And this one kid, was one singular kid, saw it online. And he's like, "Holy shit." And everybody looks at him and he's like, "Holy shit." And he starts running around just to this room full of complete strangers, showing them his phone screen. And all 3 teachers are trying to get this kid to like calm down and sit down. He's like, "Fuck no."
He's like, "I'm not going to see any of you bitches ever again. Fuck you."
Yeah, no.
No, I remember. I vividly remember it too. I was
yeah, and then the announcement came on, and we all lost our fucking shit, man.
I remember I was in 8th period computer art and design. I was in CAD, and that class, that was a goated class. That class was the best ever class I've taken.
What was the class? CAD?
Yeah, computer art and design.
Okay.
It functionally could have been literally anything, because I didn't do shit the whole year.
Who taught it?
I can tell you later. He's the guy that looked like Eugene Levy.
Oh, okay,
yeah. But so it was taught by this old white dude who looked like Eugene Levy, like dead ringer. Like he probably is like Eugene Levy's like younger twin somehow. Like I don't know how you could be a younger twin by like many decades, but he is somehow. Looks like they cloned him. But that class was so goated. Oh my God. I showed up to that class the first day. My first day was 2 weeks later than everyone else's.
Right.
Because I had to get my appendix taken out like the day school started, damn near. Like that, like school started on like Tuesday and I had to get it taken out on Saturday. So I was like recovering and all this. So I ended up going to like my first day of senior year, like 2 weeks late. And he didn't know that I was in that class until I just like kind of showed up. I was like, hey man, yeah, I've been, I this is my first day. And he's like, oh, okay. I think he assumed that I moved there because he found out like months later that I was like in the hospital. I wasn't like new. Because I think he was like talking to me one day and he was like, so, what school did you used to go to? I was like, what do you mean? Like this one? And he's like, what? He's like, no, I mean like before this one. I was like, the junior high that's also in this district. And he's like, oh, I thought you moved here. I was like, no, I did literally every year of school that I had to go through K through 12 in the same district. I didn't move. And he's like, oh, well then what was that thing at like the beginning of the year? I was like, oh, I was in the hospital. He's like, oh, okay. All right. That makes more sense. And this was like in February or something that this conversation happened. Like this was like months into the school year. This is after I was already not doing anything in that class. But basically there was just a group of kids in that class that were always like just fucking around, like loudly fucking around, like just joking with each other, joking with the teacher. Like the teacher wasn't mad about it, but he would like jokingly try to like, come on guys, like do your work, whatever. But then like kind of just, be feeding into each other. Mm-hmm. And he'd always pretend like, okay, if you do this one more time, I'm going to like punish you or whatever. And then like, they'd be like, nah, we don't care. Suck a dick. And he's like, haha, you guys.
Oh, you.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking, you're gay. And he's like, I'm not. And it was very much like that vibe. So then he would just walk around the class and just look at like what you were doing, some kind of project on the computer. And he'd be like, hey, do you need any help? And everyone would be like, no. And he'd be like, all right, cool. And then just move on to the next person. So then I kind of felt out like what was the move, right? Like how much do I actually have to do on these projects? Because there was no deadline. He was like, oh, there's like different templates for projects that you can do. So it was like, oh, here's 10 different projects that you can do and just, work at your own pace. Just get them all done. Or like, don't even get them all done. Just do the ones that interest you at whatever pace. So I was like, okay, I'll start this one and just have my screen open, but like do almost nothing, like make like noticeably little progress. Right. And he never said anything about it. Like ever for like, oh, you haven't actually done anything yet. Like it got to the point where I was like, I had like a blank window of the CAD program open and he didn't care. So I was like, okay, well, let me really like test the boundary. Like, let me really like limit test here. So then I would sit there and the screen would be off. And he still didn't care. Like the screen's not turned on. Like I'm so obviously not doing anything. And then he still didn't care. So I was like, okay, let me try a little bit crazier. So then I was like, all right, I'm just not even going to log into the computer. And he still didn't care. He still didn't care. So I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to do shit ever. So I would just go into that class and just scroll on my phone the whole time. And he would walk past me and I wouldn't even put my phone away. I'd just continue scrolling. And he'd be like, you need help with anything? I'd be like, nope. And he's like, all right, cool. Just checking. And it was fine. He never put in like, oh, you didn't do this assignment or whatever. I had a straight A in that class. I didn't turn the computer on, bro. In my computer art and design class, I didn't turn the computer on for the last like however many months of the class. And it was fine. And every time that's when I started reading JoJo because I was waiting for part 6 to get animated and I was like, fuck, it's going to take too long. So I just downloaded all of 6 and 7 on my phone and just read it in that class instead. But I remember it was
a blue ribbon school.
What's that?
This was a blue ribbon school.
Yes, it was. I mean,
went to. Yep.
Won all kinds of awards. I mean, it was a go to class. But unrelated topic I'll get back to, but you reminded me of it. But I remember that day that like everything got canceled. It was like March 16th, something like that. It was somewhere like in there. It might have been March 12th, actually, now that I think about it. But I remember like I'm in that class, like just chilling, reading part 8, and I was like, "Oh, can I use the bathroom?" And like, I know people were talking about like, "Oh, this coronavirus thing," but like it hadn't like hit yet. And I was like, "Oh, can I go use the bathroom?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine." So I get up and walk out into the hallway. And I can't remember what this kid's last name was. I remember there was a kid that we went to school with. I think he was a grade below us. He was also named Nate, and everyone fucking hated him. Like, nobody fucking liked this kid. Like, I don't remember what his last name was.
I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, it was him. He was in the...
Was he the younger sibling of somebody in our year?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his last name was, but I can picture his face.
He had a sister in our grade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had an older sister in our grade, and then he was a grade below us, and like nobody fucking liked this guy.
Yeah.
But I remember
hearing stories.
I walked out into the hall, and I was walking towards the bathroom, and he was there like in the hallway like talking with people, and he checked his phone and was like running around telling people. And that was how I found out.
Yeah.
Was like just this kid that no one fucking likes just came up to me one time and was like, "Dude, the governor just closed all the schools." I was like, "Oh shit. Okay." And it was supposed to be for 2 weeks. And then it was
the next day.
And then it was forever. I think I had some kind of English test too. Yeah. I think I had some kind of English test. Dude, my English teacher was so funny too, because she was like trying to make it serious, but it just wasn't happening.
Oh yeah, no, everybody was at first. And
dude,
then
leave it to
a
fucking English teacher to be like trying to still be a school marm about everything.
My English teacher was the same way.
Motherfucker, we thought the world was gonna end. I'm not doing your assignments. Fuck you.
Yeah.
This is my senior year. I'm not even planning on going to college. I don't know why the fuck you think I'm here. Like, hell no.
You just have to not fail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was doing good on all like the homework and the tests and shit because it was easy. It was college prep English. Like I was doing honors English before that. Like it was easy as fuck. We would always be reading in class, and there was this one kid that was on the basketball team that would volunteer to read, and his reading wasn't so good. So he would read slow as fuck, but he would read out loud to the class. And I was like 3 or 4 chapters ahead of everyone because I would just read it to myself. They'd be like, "So at the end of chapter 5, like, what do we think?" I'm like, "Fuck, I don't remember because I'm on chapter 12." Like, fuck, I don't remember what I'm supposed to know right now.
Well, I told you my English horror story, right? About reading in class.
About reading out loud? I don't think so.
Yeah. So, did you have to read Equus?
No, we never did Equus. We did Oedipus in my senior year.
Do you know what Equus is?
Something about a horse and a horse fucking, I think.
Yeah, it's about a dude who fucks a horse or jerks off on a horse.
Oh, okay.
And
this is a blue ribbon school, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Dude, I had a class where I was doing nothing. Okay, so in my English class, we were reading this story about a guy just stroking his shit silly on horseback.
So he, my English teacher, she, it was a play.
I got lotion on my shit. I got saddle chafes on my ass cheeks.
She had a PowerPoint presentation, like in introduction to the book or play or whatever the fuck. And one of the slides at the end was who was going to be reading which part in the play out loud. Like for the whole class, right? Because we were reading this play in class instead of at home.
Okay.
And there's all the characters' names. And she was doing it like one by one. So it was like a slide with like the character's name. Yeah, a description of the character and then who would be reading out loud. Right. Then she gets to the last slide. The last slide is the guy who fucking, cranks his hog on the horse.
Yeah.
And she's like, I picked the one person in this class who I think is mature enough to handle this role.
What does that mean?
And then she clicks the little clicker, and in like big text on the screen, it's just Nate Peralt.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I had to read a book in front of the entire class with the girl I had a crush on at that time, in which I had a weird horse fetish and liked to jerk off on horses. I did get to say fuck a lot, though.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of fun. And I got to say fuck you to the teacher a lot because she was reading the part of my therapist in the book.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say she's reading she's her role
she's
was
the horse.
Yeah, I was going to say her role was the horse's vagina. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, nah,
so,
dude.
Silver lining.
Yeah, nah, dude. English was such a just crazy class. Like, it's so goofy what people get away with in that class. Like, what teachers get away with in English classes.
And that was the weird part. Was like, I liked her too. She was one of the best teachers I had at that school.
Oh, okay, nice.
I can't believe she just, that was the one time she just did me dirty.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Nah, dude, my last like senior year English teacher, it was like right before the end of the year, and there was like a Google Classroom assignment because everything was Google Classroom, and it was like, hey guys, just record a little like thing of yourself, like talking about what you like about the class and blah 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 and all this like senior memento shit. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not doing this. Fuck that. Like, no. Like, I don't care, bro. I've been like sleeping and silently reading my way through your class and killing it. Like, I don't care, dude. I got here 2 weeks late. We stopped showing up in March. I haven't seen you in 2-3 months. Like,
right.
I don't care, bro. So I just submitted it blank. And then she unsubmitted it and was like, listen, I know like you might not want to do it, but like you got to do it. And I was like, no. And then I just returned it in. Like, no, I'm actually not doing that because guess what? I can see
you actually don't have to, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, because I can see how many points it's worth.
So one of my classes, you remember that class I took, like that weird one?
Oh, the one that you had to like apply for?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Totally not worth it.
That's what I thought.
But we had to so we didn't have to, but they kind of wanted a similar thing where because we were the first people to do that class. It was like a new class at the school.
Okay.
And they were like, all right. So I can't say the name, I guess, on air, but I'm gonna describe her to you, and you're gonna know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
It was red hair, short-ish, and just like such a cunt.
You talking about like the one that's like a total spaz?
Sorry, you cut out there.
Oh yeah, I'm saying the one that's like a total spaz.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we thinking of the same one though?
Probably. Is she the one that there was like a year where she was saying that she was like a cat?
No.
Oh, okay, a different person then. Damn. Unless you just don't know about that.
Saying she was a cat.
I think so, yeah.
No, that doesn't seem like her. She's not that kind of retarded.
Okay. I like this game though of like guess who this person was.
Yeah. Ukrainian?
Oh, Ukrainian. I don't know. No, because my frame of reference for a kid that we went to high school with that was Ukrainian is a completely different dude.
Oh,
It was that one dude
that
that stabbed that fucking dickhead in my math class.
Yeah. She's married now.
Oh, her. Oh. Remember? Yeah, when I was at your apartment and that one friend that we had from high school was telling me about she got married.
Yep. Yeah, I forgot you were there for that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hated her too. Yeah, she sucked.
No, she's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So she wanted to do something like that for the class. It was like her idea, and she was like messaging everybody on Google Classroom like constantly, like,
"Oh,
make sure you do this."
Fuck off, bro! No,
what authority do you have?
Yeah, we're not doing all that. Fuck out of here.
And like she was putting the whole thing together, and like, such a fucking tryhard.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, why? Like, do you just wake up and try to be unlikable? Like, what the fuck? How can I make the most amount of people not like me today?
She was a piece of shit.
Yeah. Oh, it was funny that we were talking about like, oh, it's a blue ribbon school or whatever. This reminded me, this is such a funny topic. So you know how a lot of the time people say, as like a criticism of whatever school or the school system or whatever, they'll say, why is there no class that teaches me all of this helpful adult information?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to pay my taxes, or I don't know how I'm supposed to, buy insurance, or blah, blah, blah. How do I, how do I save money? How do I do all of these how do I apply for a job? How do I make a resume?
Right.
There was a class that taught all of those things.
The fuck class was that?
It was called Money and Investing, and it was an elective.
Yeah, and it was an elective.
I know. That was the crazy thing, is that it was an elective, and I took it in my senior year, and I was like, oh my God, wait, this class is actually insanely good. I was like, wait a minute, this class is actually cracked. This is so good. Like, that class was actually incredibly helpful, like now.
Yeah,
to me,
like people didn't know it existed.
Yeah. No, most people didn't. Well, that's the funny thing. So I remember, here's like a good gauge for how helpful that class was. The first assignment we did that year was to make a resume. Right. Like, make the document in like Google Docs or whatever. Like, make the document now, and then the teacher will grade you based on how like hireable you look, and like how professionally done your resume is, with all of your information now. Like, don't bullshit any of it.
I didn't do that shit until college.
Yeah, like, don't make anything up, but like do the resume like punchy uppy bit where you like really sell yourself, but no inventing fake information. Like, it has to be actually like applicable to you. So then she graded the resume and was like, and look, there you go. Now you have a resume that you can actually go get a job with right now, like tomorrow. So now you have this document. Now just update it when you graduate. And then if you go to do college, update it when you're done that. If you get a job, update it with that experience. Like, now you have a living document. As the first assignment of this class is, now you have a living document that will be helpful if you're ever looking for a job ever. Like, that's fucking sick. Like, and then she's like, okay, now we're gonna learn about how much money you can reasonably expect to spend on a house, and how to even go look for that kind of thing, what an APR is, like what all this shit is for your finances. Here's what to do and not do with a credit card. Like, all of these incredibly helpful like tidbits of life advice. Like, oh, if you get into a car accident, how do you handle that with your insurance? Well, here's what you should do. Tell them immediately. Like, don't wait, because if you wait like 3 days, it could fuck you. Like, the same day, if not the next day. You have to do it. Like, incredibly important that you do that. Like, oh, okay, that's actually incredibly useful. Like, yes. And then it was like explaining, what insurance terms mean. Like, what is your premium? What's your copay? What's your deductible? So it was funny that I remember like people, like when I was in senior year, people going like, hey man, why don't we have a class like that? I'm like, we do actually. It's just dumb because they don't tell you about it, and they call it money and investing, which makes it sound like it's going to be mostly math, which it's not. which was like why I was like kind of like hesitant to even take it, is because my math skills fucking suck and I didn't want to take another math class because I didn't have any math classes in senior year and I was intent to keep it that way.
Sweet.
Oh, it kicked ass. But so I ended up taking that class like, oh, it sounds like it might be useful, whatever. It can't hurt to know. So I know like a bunch of useful stuff about that now. And then it was funny because this is what really like ruined my opinion of people saying that like, oh man, if only it had like, if only schools had that class. Like I totally think that should be a mandatory class. But it was funny because then my younger brother ends up going to high school and he's like, what classes should I take? And I was like, dude, do yourself a favor, take that money and invest in class. Because you have come to me before and said, oh, why doesn't school teach me anything useful? And there is a whole elective that no one will fight you to get into. You just apply for it and you get into it. That will teach you a gang of useful information. It's just overflowing with useful knowledge.
Right.
And he goes, okay. And then he signs up for it. And then within the first 2 weeks of school, he's like, it's boring. I dropped it. He's like, it's boring. I decided to switch it for like an art class. I took pottery instead. I'm like, fuck. Come on, man. Like that's why it's not a mandatory class, is because a bunch of people went, money and investing. I'm not reading all that. I'm not reading this essay. Fuck that. Like, no, it's telling you how to invest your money. It's saying that if you make a lot of money, you shouldn't just spend it all like a fucking idiot. You should probably put it in a high yield savings account. Like, no, they've already stopped listening. Fuck. It's ridiculous, man. I don't know. I think if they had a class like that, most people would ignore it.
Yeah.
Like even knowing, like I went through that class, I was like, dude, trust. It's like super good. Like I the job that I have now, I applied to with the resume that I made in that class. Like I've just updated it since then. Like it's actually super helpful.
I stand by the fact that like nothing useful is taught in schools.
Yeah.
Nothing you learn in a high school is knowledge you can apply to everyday life. I stand by that fact. And I think the problem is that if that was a required class, people are always so bitter about, the required classes and what they're forced to take. I think people would find some way to like make that argument,
Yeah.
Even if it's not necessarily true for that class specifically.
Yeah, they'd find some way to be like, it's not that helpful that I know how to do this. It's like, I mean, it is right. Though. Like, you're just dumb. But yeah, no.
You're just bitter that you have to take it.
Yeah. Like, there were also classes about investing. Like, sometimes they'd be like, hey, guys, listen. Sure, you are legally allowed to just blow all of your money buying Tesla stocks. That is something that you can do. Is it a way for you to make money? It could make you money, but it probably won't. And it's a really bad strategy. Like the strategy is bad. What you should do instead is put your money into the stock market and then don't look at it again for the next 30 years. Because statistically by then it will have grown. Like, oh fuck, wait, that's sick. Let me do that. Let me actually think about putting away money. And they're like, oh, calculate how much money you need to save now before, you retire to have a comfortable amount of money to retire with. Like, right. Yes, you should be teaching people that information as young as possible. Because the longer you have to do it, the better it'll be, right? The longer you wait to invest in retiring, the worse it's going to be. Like, the harder it will be to actually grow the money. So you want people doing that instantly, like as soon as they get out of high school, if not like work a job in high school.
And all you need is a few dollars.
Yeah.
Just keep playing the lottery every week.
Exactly. I'm gonna open up a Roth IRA, put money into it consistently for the next 40, 50 years. And then I'm going to take all of it out. I'm going to take all of it out. And it's going to be sick. Because another tidbit from that class, Roth IRAs are actually tax exempt. You cannot get taxed on taking your Roth IRA out when you retire.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's sick as fuck. They don't take anything from it. And then I'm going to go put it all on red. And then fuck it. I'll either be insanely rich, I'll have doubled my money, or I'll be left with nothing and kill myself.
Oh my God. Did I tell you my casino story?
No, you went to a casino?
I went to a casino once in my life. It was recently. My roommate, the roommate that I like, you know which one I'm talking about.
Yes. The cool one? Yeah.
He's fucking cool as hell.
Love that guy.
He left for grad school.
Damn.
So he loves going to the casino. He goes all the time. I have never been to the casino with him.
Okay.
So I was like, before you leave, we're going to the fucking casino.
Oh, fuck,
so we go to the casino, and I'm like, all right, I have $100 cash on me right now because I had just sold one of my pieces of furniture from my apartment. So I was like, all right, this is all I'm using tonight. I ended up, losing all of it and taking out my money and all that. And then I got to one blackjack table, and it was a $25 buy-in. And I got on such a fucking roll there. I made like a couple $100, and then I'm like, all right, I'm done. And I left that night with a couple $100. I had only profited like $50 though.
Okay.
Because I took out so much more than that.
Yeah.
I was myself I would only use. But yeah. Little profit.
That's sick, actually. Yeah. So basically, like what you're saying is, if I go to the casino, I will make money.
Yes.
Like I don't need
fundamental truth.
Like I don't need some gay high school class to teach me that like time in the market is better than timing the market. The best thing I could be doing for my retirement is blackjack.
Yes.
Now it sounds like the only problem was that it was such a small stakes table because there's only $25 buy-in. What if I had like thousands of dollars of buy-in? Then I'd be making like 10 times as much money.
Probably. Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Guaranteed I would be 100%.
That checks out.
Yeah. The math checks out. It all adds up. Yeah, no, I always find that so funny because I look back at that class, I'm like, dude, that was actually so crazy helpful. Oh, and you know what else is funny? There's one other class that was a little bit helpful, kind of unintentionally. And it sucks that I forgot everything from it. It was my 11th grade math class because I was in a weird, like, non-existent kind of track for math.
Okay.
Because it was like they had like honors and then some AP and then college prep, but the AP wasn't until like high school. And I was in honors math for some amount of time in like 7th and 8th grade. And then I was like, this is fucking terrible. I'm not doing this. So then I dropped down. I went to drop down to like college prep, but I don't think they wanted me to do that. So they were like, instead, how about we just put you in like whatever the next grade up college prep kind of class is, as like it's almost an elective, just a way for like the next grade above you to get math credits, basically.
Okay.
So I ended up in like weird math classes that like didn't, like no one else was taking. And I swear 100% it was not remedial math. I'm not coping. 100%. I swear on my fucking life that this was not like, I was not riding the short bus to get to the math class. Okay.
Okay.
I probably should have been because I'm so bad at math. You know what? Probably deserved if they saw some of my math tests and went, we're going to send you to like the special needs math school. I'd be like, understandable. But that wasn't what was happening. So by the time I got to 11th grade, I was basically doing the 12th grade, like math elective thing that people needed if they had like failed a math class because they just needed a math credit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like It wasn't anything like I remember I went through all of high school and I never had to do calculus ever. I don't know what calculus is still.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I know. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, I hate calculus." I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I was like, "I don't want to do that." It
makes physics easier, but I mean, aside from that, it kind of sucks on its own.
Yeah, no. I remember I did in 9th grade the class. I went from like an algebra. I think it was algebra 1. I think 7th grade I did pre-algebra. 8th grade I did algebra 1. 9th grade I think it was called formal geometry is what that one was called. And then
took some sort of geometry in 9th grade.
Yeah, it was formal geometry, and then I don't remember what 10th grade was. What was my 10th grade? Shit, I don't remember what that class was called or I think it was like more algebra. I think it was like algebra 2.
Yeah, I took algebra 2 in 10th grade.
Okay. I just remember that class. I remember that one was weird because I was in 10th grade, but most of the class was 11th grade though. But it was algebra 2, and I remember the teacher was like a total MILF. It was fucking crazy.
What's your teacher?
I don't remember her name. I just remember she had fucking huge tits. I don't remember what her name was. I don't know. She was probably like 40, and she was like so hot. And then in 11th grade, I remember the math class was like, it was full of seniors. There was only one other kid in there that was in 11th grade. It was me and just him, and it was that one guy you hate. The real short one with the sister.
Oh, yeah.
The real short dude that always wore Uggs and that you don't like, and that he wore Uggs all the time, bro. Every day he was wearing Uggs. He was wearing Uggs and sweatpants.
What the fuck?
They were like Ugg slip-ons.
I can't imagine him wearing Uggs. I can imagine the guy he hung out with all the time wearing Uggs.
Who's the dude he hung out with all the time?
The really boring one.
Oh, yeah, him. Yeah. No, they had kind of the same style.
Yeah.
No, but it was me and him in that class, and then a bunch of seniors. And I remember it was such bullshit. But that class, it was like, it wasn't calc. It was like how to calculate like compound interest.
Okay.
And I don't remember how to do it because it was so long ago. Because again, it was in 11th grade. This is like probably 6 years ago or something. Yeah, it was 6 years ago. But I remember that one being useful kind of at the time. Like, oh, okay, this is how you could calculate such a thing. I don't remember how to do it, but now I know that there's a way you can do it without having to like do it all manually. But
is that the PERT equation?
Which one?
The PERT.
PERT? I don't know.
The PE to the RT.
Oh, that sounds kind of familiar.
I think it's something totally different.
That sounds familiar. I don't know.
Is that the one with chemistry? I don't fucking know.
This might be your made up calculus or whatever that you're gaslighting me into thinking is real.
The calculus is fake.
Yeah. I feel like I you know what? Hot take, no one actually took calculus. They're just gaslighting me. Everyone's lying to me. They all started talking about this calculus class as soon as I stopped taking my pills, bro. Like, what happened?
Calculus was all too real.
Calculus was the friends we made along the way. Yeah. No, I remember that class was crazy though, because the seniors at our school didn't have to do finals if they had at least a B average in every class. Like if you had a B average in a class, you didn't have to take its final, was the way it worked. But I didn't find that out until it was in that class.
Did you not take finals that year?
No, well, I was in 11th grade, so I had to. But that's how I found out, was because I was in that class, and the teacher was like, "Yeah, guys, so if you have at least an 80% average in the class, then you don't have to take the final." And I was like, "Nice, I have like an 85 or whatever." And she's like, "Actually, you still do." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What? What do you mean I still do?" She's like, "Well, you're not a senior, right?" I was like, "No." And she's like, "Yeah, so if you're in 11th grade, no matter what your score is, you could have like 100 in the class, you still have to take it." I was like, "Fuck." So then it was just me and that 11th grade guy that you don't like that had to take the final. Everyone else could have just skipped it. And then he didn't show up. So in junior year, my math final, I was the only one there.
Yeah.
Not only was I the only one there, so few people were there that the fucking teacher didn't show up. I was taking it alone with a sub.
Nice.
They gave me a substitute teacher as just some guy. They're like, here's just a guy that we have. He's just going to hand you the test and you just fill it out and turn it in. That was my last ever math final. Because then after that, I didn't have a math class in senior year. Because I had already done the like senior bullshit math class.
That's pretty sweet.
And there was no way I was going to take calc. Like, fuck all that. So, no, my senior year was fucking actually so good.
Yeah, I did not have a good senior year.
No, my senior year was fantastic. I was actually killing it my senior year.
Senior year was bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, it started off so bad and then got so good and then ended so bad kind of for everyone else.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, you missed the first 2 weeks of school because you're in the hospital. Bet. All right. After that, it's going to be goated until March. And then the entire world's going to fall apart, but it actually kind of benefits you because you don't like going outside. Like, oh, okay. All right. I'll take it. I remember the only thing that I didn't like about COVID shutting everything down was my girlfriend's parents were too scared to let her leave the house, so we couldn't hang out. That was the only thing that I was mad about.
How long?
Like months. Like it was a while. I don't remember. I'm sure I could go back and check like DMs or something to see like when we finally got to hang out again. But it was like months. We were still talking every day over text, but like we'd be like in Discord calls and shit. But like, no, it was wild. But everything else apart from that was so goated. Like, send me back, bro. But no, that whole school year, like from, mid-September to mid-March was so good. It's so short. Holy shit. That's crazy. Yeah, so I don't know. I could like reminisce about that shit forever. That's actually like, I'm gonna be 80 thinking about that shit.
It was a weird year.
It was.
Like my school year sucked ass that year, but like the year was not bad.
Yeah, I just remember that year. I remember everyone that I was like cool with at the time was like taking a gang of like AP classes, and I was like, "Why are you doing that?"
Yeah, that's what I was doing that year.
Yeah,
sucked ass.
Yeah,
everybody was trying to kiss ass for the last time before college applications.
Yeah, did you end up getting free credits though for it?
For most of them, yeah.
Okay, then it's still kind of worth it because at least it saved you time in college.
I got to skip a lot of math in college.
Well, that's good.
So that's what I got.
See, that's at least somewhat worth. I remember, dude, my girlfriend that year, like, holy shit, she was taking like a gang of AP classes and like didn't go to college.
What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Why? I don't know. You know what's even crazier about that though? She took a bunch of AP classes and had a scholarship and still didn't go to college.
Jesus.
I know.
Yeah, I got to skip a lot of math, but they didn't let anybody skip. They had like a general education English track that everybody had to take, so I didn't get to skip any English courses in college, which sucks. And then same thing with physics, because I was a physics major at first, so I couldn't skip any physics classes.
Yeah.
They wanted everybody who was in the major to start in the same spot.
Okay. When do you like officially graduate? Like you have your degree?
This June.
This June? Damn. Okay. As in June of 2025?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I had to think about it. I was like, oh, okay. Were you referring to this June that just happened, or?
No. Okay. Yeah, it's 5 years because my school's weird.
Okay, yeah, because I do remember like over the summer seeing a bunch of people like, I finally graduated college. And I was like, oh, damn, it's been 4 years already.
Yeah.
Because I remember it like it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, my roommate graduated because he was doing the 4-year program. My other
I thought it was
roommate,
just because he had the sauce in his goated like that.
I mean, he also that.
He's so cool. I fucking love your roommate. Your roommate's so cool.
He's fucking awesome, man.
I fucking love him, dude. Every time I interact with him, I'm just like, that's my fucking guy right there.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
My other roommate, who's less awesome.
I can take him or leave him. He's all right. He's all right in my opinion. But I don't know. I've found generally that like with like the way you and I evaluate people is totally different because I think I'm just way more amenable to people because like I feel like you'll run into someone and be like, I fucking hate that guy. And I'm like, that guy is completely fine.
Yeah, no, I'm very quick to hate people, but I also have like very personal beef with that guy.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. I've heard the story. I totally understand why. I'm not saying it's not justified. I'm just saying it's funny. I'm just noticing a pattern of like people that I'll run into. Like, I think it happened in high school a couple of times where you'd be like, man, fuck this guy.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like, I'm cool with that guy.
Yeah. No, like, so he's probably the only case where I think it's justified because I have like really personal beef with him.
Yeah.
The other guy we were talking about earlier that you mentioned that I don't like.
Yeah.
There's nothing personal there. I just fucking hate that guy.
Yeah. Bro, I was like,
I don't know.
I was like not even like super friendly with that guy. Like I think we had a couple of classes and we were like talking, but we were never like, I would hesitate to even really say acquaintance, to be honest. Like I wouldn't even be like, we were acquainted. Like I think we would get paired up in labs sometimes in like, I think it was, was it physics? I think it was physics. I think physics was like 10th grade. It was either 10th or 11th grade. It was like that science class. I remember that science class that I had with him. But it was like we would always be in like a group of 4 and like I was kind of just there. And then I remember I was like, oh, this guy's a bro because I would sit behind him in English and I would like always sleep in that class. Like my sleep schedule was so bad, I would just always fall asleep. Like I could just not stay awake. It's not even like a slight against that class or like the guy teaching it or anything. The guy teaching it was actually the GOAT. I actually love that teacher. The guy that taught that class, I actually went back and like met him like after I graduated. Like the only teacher I've ever done that for.
Really?
Yeah. It was incidental, but I kind of like manifested a way for me to go talk to him because I just wanted to see him again because that guy's the GOAT.
That's cool.
Yeah. But I just like could not stay awake in his class like half the time. But the guy that you're like, oh yeah, fuck that guy. He sat in front of me, like the way the class was laid out, it was like the desks were all in like these columns, like these vertical kind of lines. So it'd be like aisles of just vertical desk. And he was sitting one in front of me and I would always be like so obviously asleep, like head down on the fucking desk. And he would like move his like body around so that like it would be harder to notice that I'd be asleep. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then like the bell would ring and then I woke up. I'm like, oh, what's up? And he's like, yeah, bro, I got you. I'm like, oh, thanks. I totally never even asked him to do that. He just did that. He just started doing that. Like, that guy's sick.
He and I were beefing from like day one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So when you're like, man, you know this guy, he just did some fuck shit. I hate that guy. I'm like, what? I'm like, damn, he's cool.
Yeah, no, and then like, I'm petty as fuck.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, we were always just kind of. I can't even say at each other's throats because like, there was never anything.
Couldn't reach. Fucking got him.
We just did not like each other from day one.
That was a short joke for anyone who missed it.
The only time we actually like got into some shit, I 100% started it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Then, no. Oh my god, I don't know if did I ever tell you how that ended?
I don't know, maybe.
There was this one teacher, I was in class with his sister, who was in the year below us. And just to clarify, this so-called beef was I commented on an Instagram picture
You called him
his friend
short,
had
right?
posted.
Yeah.
I just called him short. Yeah, I was like, damn, he's short as hell. Because it was like a group picture and he was like 2 feet taller than everybody around him.
You could see the stepping stool in the Instagram post and you're like, damn, that's crazy. And he's like, I fucking hate you now.
He like flagged the comment and got it taken down. And then he came into the store where I was working in high school. And I was like, oh shit. I didn't like hide, but I did kind of like walk into one of the aisles hoping he wouldn't see me.
Yeah.
He saw me and he just comes right up to me and he's like, so I'm short, huh? And I'm like, yeah. What do you say, dude? Sorry,
bro.
But yeah.
Yeah, bro. Sorry. You said, can you repeat that? I can't hear you down there.
And then it ended with his sister was really pissed at me in class. And she was like, I hear you've been like harassing my brother. I'm like, I wouldn't really call it that.
Harassing. I made one joke about him on an Instagram comment and he deleted it. That's not really harassment.
Yeah. And then he's like, you called him short? I was like, yeah. And then he thought that the best course of action would be to tell on me.
Okay.
So she went up to the teacher as if this is like fucking first grade. And she goes, Nate's harassing my brother. And the teacher sitting in the back of the room just goes, Nate. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, come here. I went over there. He's like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, are you harassing her brother? I'm like, no, not really. And he's like, what did you do? And I'm like, I called him short. And then she cut me off and she's like, he called him short twice. And he just goes, he puts his hand up to her. He's like, hold on. He turns to me, he goes, Nate. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, is he short? I said, yeah. And he's like, okay.
Yeah. Is he short? And you were like, his height starts with a 4. Yeah, he's fucking short. And he's like, okay. All right, fair enough. You know what? I'll allow it. I like that you actually got an I'll allow it.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
He shushed her and then
bitch, shut the fuck up. Nate, how tall is he? Yeah. Nate, how tall is he?
Is he short?
Yeah.
He was cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just never really liked him. I don't even remember like how that started.
Yeah.
Because that was the only time we ever like really interacted.
Yeah.
But like I had hated him for years before that, so. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just remember like knowing all that. I was like, oh, I guess they're just like not cool, but that's fine. I don't really like give a fuck. But I just remember being like having it be funny that like I would just picture like what that would look like if you and I were hanging out somewhere and we ran into him. Like, cause I'd be like, oh, what's up, bro? I remember you. Like, hey, yo, how you doing? How'd everything turn out? You know, you doing good? And you just be like, man, this fucking guy.
He's a dick.
Yeah. Like he'd probably still be mad at you, but he'd be cool with me probably. I don't know. And it would just probably be weird then. Like, but then it feels like not similar thing, but similar dynamic with your roommate that you don't like.
Oh yeah,
where it's like I would go over to your apartment for a party and you'd be like, yeah, man, he's like kind of a dick, and then like I'd interact with him and he'd be nice to me and I'd be like, I mean, I don't, you know, he might be a dick, like I don't know. He's nice to me though, like I trust you that he sucks. But
so yeah, my two biggest things with him are, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna get into the whole fucking story with my ex, but you know that one.
Yeah.
And aside from that, though, he's a very behind your back type of person.
Yeah, yeah.
So he has never, I mean, he's never talked about you behind your back. I would have told you where, but like,
yeah. Some
of my friends, he has like just said weird shit about when they're not there. And I found out from my ex that he did that all the time with me.
Yeah, see, like that's really shitty. Yeah, no. Then again, like I don't know that he would have anything to say about me behind my back because I interact with him so little. I feel like I'm just kind of automatically like at least polite to people when I meet them, so that kind of saves me a lot of that. Like I don't know the way I go about it is like like there are some people that I just fucking hate and can't stand, and like they'll know. Like I'm never like secretive about like the people that I don't like. Like at my job right now, there's just two bitches that I fucking hate, and like I'm sure everyone can tell.
The sisters?
Yeah. Yeah, it's sisters. Like I've heard secondhand from people that I would talk to someone about these two bitches, and they'd be like, "Damn, he really fucking hates them." Like, I remember my brother was there one time, and he was there, and I wasn't, and he was talking to someone that we're both cool with, and they're talking, and she goes like, "Man, your brother really hates them." He's like, "Yeah, he does." But like I'm cool with everyone else there. Like everyone else there. Even the people that like don't fuck with me that heavily, like I'm still cool with them. Like I'm cool with the people in the kitchen, I'm cool with the bartenders, I'm cool with the servers, I'm cool with the support staff, like I'm cool with fucking everyone except those two bitches. Like they can eat a dick.
That's fair.
Yeah. But I'm sure they can tell because they're like the only people that I actively avoid. But like I'm not trying to fuck them over. I'm just avoiding them and like not being like cordial with them. You know what I mean? Like I'll do the barest of bare minimum. Like I'm not going to talk to them. If they're talking to someone, I'm not going to join in on the conversation. Like I'm going to just ice them out and I'm going to just be cool with everyone else. Like that's kind of how I do it. So I think there's not a whole lot of like talking about me behind my back because like I'm never interacting with them unless it's like purely business. Right. You know what I mean? Like if it's purely business, and I'll keep it purely business. So it's like there's nothing even to say. Because I'm trying to think
what I've heard from you, like,
go ahead.
They're the ones that don't do their job, right?
What's up?
Are they the ones that just don't do their job?
Yeah, they're the ones that when I started working there, when I was just bussing tables, made that shit significantly harder for no reason.
Right.
Like they're just really fucking bad. Like,
I worked in, if you could even call it food service, I worked at fucking Panera Bread.
Yeah.
Washing dishes in the back. But then after that, I spent like years at a fucking pharmacy as a cashier. Then the past like year or two, I've been working at a zoo. And in those two jobs, like, if somebody around me is not doing their job, like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. It doesn't affect, but like in a fucking restaurant, yeah, that definitely matters.
Yeah, especially because like I'm taking it so seriously. You know what I mean? Like if I was just there like as a jobber, like I don't care, I'm just here for the paycheck, I probably wouldn't care. But when I like got hired there as like, hey guys, I'm trying to bartend, and they're like, okay, cool, just kind of like work your way up. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't really like you if you're sabotaging that. Like if you're not doing your shit and it directly kind of reflects on me, like you can eat all the dicks. Like fuck you. Like you not doing your job will make me look like I'm not doing my job even when I'm fucking hustling. Like because if I'm bussing tables, it's like if they just leave all their tables completely fucked and they don't do shit to clean it up, even though everyone there that serves is supposed to help clean up tables. Like they're supposed to, you know how like every restaurant you've ever been to ever, when you're done with a plate, the server will come up and be like, hey, can I get that out of your way? They just don't ever for any reason.
Fun.
So you can go up to the tables that they served and like forensically reconstruct exactly everything that happened in the entire meal. It's kind of hilarious, actually. Whereas like everyone else is way better about it. Like there are some people that are like goated about it, but they're like everyone else is at least mid. Like they'll at least do it. It's fucking crazy though. Like man, like, and when I'm the one bussing tables, if there's tables all over the place that just look completely fucked, like whose fault is that? Like I'm the only one bussing. Like it must be me, right? So I'm trying to not eat that. So that's
Oh, that
why
sucks, Dickie.
that's why I don't like them. Now it doesn't matter, but I'm not gonna suddenly be friendly to them either. Like now it doesn't matter because I'm serving tables. So if they're fucking up, it just reflects on them. And it's funny actually. Just one quick thing before we go. It's funny earlier today, this being my first like server shift, I was about to leave, and I was saying goodbye to the managers and whatever, and they were like asking me how my day went, all this, and we're just small talking, and they were saying something about, oh, we need to hire more people to fill in the gap that I'm going to leave by moving to server. And they're talking about that. And then the GM is like, oh yeah. And some of these servers need to like, I don't want to say like a rude awakening, but they need to like really start, taking the job seriously, like maybe get like some competition. And I was like, bro, I'm right here. Like, bro, I am the competition. Like, let's fucking, okay, do it. Like, bro, you already got it. Like, they're fucked. Like, you don't understand. Like, they're so fucked.
Yeah, you just have to be better than those two. Then
yeah, exactly. Like, bro, I'm going into it like, okay, I'm gonna fucking kill it. It's definite. It's not even close. It's not even the same neighborhood because like they won't do their fucking jobs and they'll be just off fucking around making TikTok videos. Like, so long as I'm at the job doing the fucking job, I'm already like better than them. So it doesn't matter. Like, it's whatever, man. I don't know, but all right, we've been going a while. We can call it here.
cool.
All right, so thank you everyone for listening. This has been the Bois Inc. episode 60. I thought it was pretty good, in my opinion. I'd give that like a disrespect rank of like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, maybe. So thank you guys for listening.
At least
9 at least, you think? I mean, I did slip in a lot of short jokes about that guy that you don't like. There were a lot. Like, I was really just piecing him up. Honestly, for no reason, because like I said, I have nothing against him. He's fine in my book, but he's been nothing but cool to me. So, So thank you guys for listening. I'm really trying to keep at it, like keep these episodes coming, but it's difficult with all this stuff going on. My schedule is usually so just brimming, so it's hard to find. And then even if I have a day off, it's hard to find other people that have like a day off, like not even a day off, but just like time to record because my schedule is so weird. It's like I'm usually getting home at like 2 a.m. So it's hard to like work for 8-9 hours and then come home and then record at 2 a.m. So I'm trying to get them out where I can. So that's why the uploads have been spotty. So not going anywhere. I'm gonna keep them coming. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna keep them coming. But yeah, it's been a slow week. Yeah, for sure. Everyone's talking about the Minecraft trailer. It's about it. It's because no one has been newly outed as a pedophile, and that Dr. Disrespect one might come back. We don't know yet. Apparently, there's a challenge on the field. We don't know. He kind of admitted to it, but now he's hitting like an Uno reverse card, possibly. It's not really clear. But I guess after he admitted it, it might be guilty till he proves otherwise. But I mean, he did come out and point blank say he was messaging a minor. So I don't know. Like that seems pretty clean cut to me, but I don't know. I'm not Chris Hansen.
You never know.
That's true. I mean, if we see the messages and like the person that he was messaging, then like we could know. It turns out that she's like 5 years old. You'd be like, okay, I don't really care what you have to say about it, bro. Like you're cooked. That's kind of egregious. But who knows? So thank you all for listening. I'll have more episodes coming out, whenever. It's going to be interesting to see when this one comes out because I dated it earlier. So, make sure to like, sub, do all that for more.